Hello, stationary engineer sports fans, or maybe I should say stationary engine athletes. I'm just getting to the reconstruction phase of that 6 horsepower International that I sent the pictures to you guys earlier about. It was in the woods for about 70 years. But you know, the old thing's in surprisingly good condition. If you look at the shafts, and it's in fairly good shape. There's hardly any wear apparent on them. You can hardly feel a thing on them. You know, you look, I can see in the camera it looks like wear, but it's just as smooth as can be. I don't really think this old thing was used this much. This is from 1924, and about that time here, things were everybody's headed out west from Nova Scotia then. So I don't think there was much farming going on anyway. Probably the last thing they had any money and bought. This is the Ottawa that I originally started working on first, and I said I wasn't going to start any other projects till it was done, but things didn't work out that way. Had a little bit of trouble the other day with the clutch mechanism. You see the old clutch mechanism in the center of the 2 washers? Had that one with the little ball bearings on it. And the old washer was a really hard material, and the ones I put on, you can see, are softer, just your regular store-bought washers. And what it did, as those hardened steel bearings went around, it caused it to mushroom inwards. There's the 2. I had one each side of this. I guess you call it a thrust bearing. And they mushroom inwards and jammed up solid on the shaft. Unbelievable how hard it was to get those off the shaft here. But I'm just going to buy a regular thrust bearing. I guess I should have done that first. They're readily available. Like, I think it's 1 3/8 center, and there's lots of room outside. But the old thing, I got to do some adjusting with the governor, the throttle governor, but she's working pretty good. I actually got really good compression. I've seen some videos online that you can see the smoke exhaust come right out the back of them, and there's not a sign of that with this one. Oh, there's the head off my the 6 horsepower International that I was just talking about. I haven't done any work on the valves yet, but you can see the intake valve there. It's in really good shape. I think I can get away with just lapping it. But the exhaust valve, you can see there's a lot of roughness there. I think I'm going to have to get one of those handheld valve cutters and cut it down some and then lap it. But I think it's surprisingly good shape, you know, for the age it's been sitting. Yeah. There's project number 3. That's an old XL 125 motorcycle that I've actually had since it was new. Can't get any spark on. I'm not just sure what's the matter. It's sat idle in an old barn for, I think, about 30 years. But it's complete. Believe it or not, I still got the flashers for it. Here's project number 4, an old Briggs & Stratton motor. I think it's about a 1950. I remember when we were kids, a bunch of guys in the neighborhood and me, we got this idea to build a go-kart. So we rigged this up on a piece of plywood with an old leather belt for a hinge and a lever on the side. We'd raise it up and down, just with a V-belt going down from this little pulley to the axle of an old wagon, like an old, you know, just a standard kid's wagon, you know. We put the axles on 2 2x4s and lengthened it out, but it was still the same width, and it was really tippy. We put an old clothesline pulley on the axle, had to drill the center out. It was aluminum, so we couldn't weld the axle. I remember, it's funny the things you remember. And we bent spikes and through the through the through the clothesline pulley and hooked it on. One of the guys, we could hardly go down anything but downhill because with the big pulley on the axle and the little pulley here, we were young then, we didn't have the much understanding of gear power, but there's a little hill there on the farm, and one of the guys started going down there and she started picking up speed and going faster and faster. And he upset her, and when the rolling over was stopped, the engine was on top of him, and that pulley there that you hook the pull cord into was laying on his foot. Wore a hole right through his shoe, right into his foot, so I guess I'm not the only fellow with a few memories of this whole thing. It's got no spark either. I'm not just sure what's the matter, but like I say, it's on the 4th rung. Yeah, there's the old motor there. Okay, that's about all the update I got for today. Bye from Nova Scotia.